Here's our first garden update from Aurora, Colorado. The last couple of weeks we've been working with the wood chips. We ordered a drop from chipdrop.com. They dumped it in our driveway. I've been filling in areas around trees and things like that. First exciting bit of news is right here. I had my raspberries. I had one plant here last year. I planted it the winter before, nurtured it over the winter. It did okay last year. I got it probably maybe a handful of raspberries off of it. This year I was excited to come out and see a bunch of small raspberry plants everywhere, so we mulched those in. The blackberry, it's coming back. It's a little sore looking. I didn't have high hopes for it. I didn't even see it come up last year. I have big hopes for this plant over here. This is a currant bush. Right now it's got a bunch of berries down in here, and it looks like there will be enough for us to get some, as long as the birds will leave them alone. And then I thought I killed both my blueberry plants by not watering them over winter. It's amazing how much water you actually have to put on something in the winter time out here. But one of them came back, the other one's completely gone. Hopefully I can nurture this one back to life and it'll become good. All right, down this side of the garden here, we still have 4 of our Dolcenac wine grapes. I'm guessing I'm saying that right. Never taken it Italian. But we have 4 of them. They're starting to cover up with foliage and mulched around them to try and keep the root system wet. And then we have our garden. So the first row is onions. I need to kind of dig out around them so the bulbs can get bigger. Some of them are a little deep, but I got a little bit of time for that yet. The second row was radishes. I got a few small ones starting to come up again, but it's late. I reseeded them after I harvested a bunch, and this one here is already going to seed. It should flower and seed. I got a couple here from earlier that haven't got big. Next row is beets. These should be getting ready here shortly. Doing quite well. All my lettuce, spring mix in here. We've harvested some of this. The spinach here. We had hail 2 days ago and it ate my spinach leaves up. And they're starting to bolt too, so I'm probably just going to harvest what I have here and be done with it. It's about all I can do. It's been cold. Everything grew kind of slow at first, and it went from cold to mid to upper 70s overnight. So we had snow 2 weeks ago, snow for Mother's Day. So that's where we're at. The next row is carrots. We plant the kaleidoscope carrots, so we get all different colors, purples and reds and white, orange of course. I had about 50% germination on my row here, so I went ahead and reseeded in the bare spots. This next row is potatoes. Now I know everybody says you gotta have seed potatoes. These are just bags of potatoes from the grocery store. Regular russets. I started them, they had eyes on them, I just put them in the dirt, and this is what you get. I've had a lot of luck with those potatoes, so there's no point in me changing anything. So the next row here is purple beans. Now, I started these back in February, and I had some decent starts. I put them in, and the last snowfall destroyed them. So I reseeded them. I already have some coming up, a couple of them. The row is not filled in. The next row is beans as well. It's a different type of green bean. And then another row of another green bean. We come down here. Now, I don't know what I've been doing wrong, but I've had a lot of trouble getting cucumbers to start. So I reseeded this row last week again. I got a couple plants starting. Hopefully hopefully I'll get some cucumbers in here and be able to make some pickles. I'm going to try the fermented dill pickles. Okay. Then this last section of garden is all squash and zucchini. I had starts I put in here. The starts got snowed on, died, frostbitten, really bad. I got to take a gamble. I'm in Colorado, so sometimes spring comes early, sometimes it doesn't. I still have 2 wine grapes out here on this side. I actually have a bunch starting right here on the top of this one. Last year I cut all my fruits off to try and increase the plant growth. This year I might just let them go and see if I get grapes. So we'll move from here around to the fruit trees. Oh, my wild onions here, we cut these as chives and use them. They do quite well in that barrel. The dogs chewed 2 of my apple trees completely around the trunk and killed the top. There was growth on this one above the splice point, so this should still be a Gala apple growing, at least from these points on. This was my Granny Smith. I believe they completely killed it. It's gone. I'm gonna have to get another one. We bought this apple tree this year and planted it early spring. It was still cold. The dogs decided it was probably about 6 foot tall and nicely formed. The dogs decided it needed pruned, so they pruned it for me. This year we also got 6 chickens. We've got an Australorp, a Leghorn, 2 barred rocks, Rhode Island Red, and an Oppendorp somewhere in there, and a Wyandotte. The Wyandotte this year is a gold lace. Bailey really loved her silver lace, which turned out to be a rooster. We live in a city, so we had to get rid of the rooster. Gave him away to somebody who got all hens and could have a rooster and wanted to breed him. But he was actually the coolest chicken ever. This is an apple tree, forget what variety. Went to the store, these sticks were on sale for $6. Once again, it stood about that tall, just 1 stick. The dogs decided it was too tall, so they pruned it back for me. It doesn't seem to be hurting any from it. But we're gonna see how well this does. Now for the big addition for the garden. So we decided we were going to go ahead and get some honeybees. This is Sabrina's project back here. She's read books, we've gone to classes, we bought it as a kit. I'm going to go ahead and plug Dakota Bees if you're here in Colorado and watching this video, or Denver. Bought the whole kit with the bee package. We've added a few parts like a feeder on the top. We're on to our 2nd box now. We've had hatching brood, we checked it today. We have larvae, we have all kinds of stuff going on in there. All looks well. I also built this raised bed a year ago. Decided to plant it full of wildflowers this year. Bee pollen mix. Hopefully we get these things, they're starting to come up now. I also planted some echinacea in there and a few other things. But we're looking to hopefully fill this in with wildflowers. So that's our update from Aurora, Colorado. We're trying our best to get stuff to grow here. It's not like Virginia. I gave up on tomatoes. We don't get enough water. I don't have time to come out here and water all day. The arid climate doesn't do well with them. Sometimes it's hot enough, sometimes it's not. I've had yet to get a ripe tomato off a vine. I gave up on peppers as well. A lot of times you wait all season for this pepper plant to be ready, and then our winters kick in and kills the plant before the fruit can ripen. So kind of gave up on anything that's over 60 days or so. That's where we're at. We're just trying to figure it out. The radishes did incredibly well this year. I've given some away. Like I said, my spinach is going to bolt before I even harvest any. There's, with the cold spring right into hot summer, that's what we get. And it's rough. I'm learning. You know, this is the third year for the garden. Keeps getting bigger and bigger. And we're hoping to get 40 pounds of honey out of this hive this year, if we're lucky. And that's your garden update. As soon as I get some of these plants to start and come in, I'll give you another update. And thanks for the update from Virginia. Garden's looking good, chickens are looking good. So we'll talk to you soon. Y'all have a nice day. Thanks for watching.